Hello guys and welcome to a new video. So today we are going to be doing a sort of Knull 6-star rank 3 walkthrough type how to play video. So if you're new and you just got him, the best way to utilize him, use his abilities, and really just to help anyone who's just gotten him, because I know as soon as I got him I was a little bit confused how to use him. So a video like this would help me, so hopefully it helps someone else. So jumping straight into it, he has a lot of abilities. As you can see on screen, I'll sort of read them as they come up. 40% degeneration resistance, and then 60% bleed and poison resistant. And then every 10 hits, the opponent gets a darkness on them. Corruption is sort of will be easier to explain in the video, but once corrupted, all of your living abyss is made into armor breaks. And then also for each armor up that's on them, that becomes an armor break as well, which obviously massively reduces or allows you to do a lot more damage. Then he's also got symbiote attacks, so the medium, heavy, and special one. These are all have passive true accuracy, so allow you to counter, evade, and auto block. While it also, while corruption is active, allows you to regenerate on your symbiote attacks or on your medium attacks. Then on his light attacks, while corrupted, if you do one of these medium attacks, it also puts a degeneration debuff on them for about 2 seconds, and it does a fair amount of damage and also regenerates you. His necro sword attacks also pause corruption, which is nice. And then these are sort of the main form of his attacks. You can sort of play him in 2 different ways. There is a more long form if you've got opponents with higher health pools, but if you're in Battlegrounds, you want to go with the more quick and easy sort of rotation, which I'll be showcasing both of those. Going into his synergies, him on his own allows you, while you also have another symbiote champion in Venom, a Carnage, Anti-Venom, whoever it may be, allows you to sort of keep them alive just once, a bit like how Heimdall does. And then his SIG ability, which is also very important. This is all non-SIG'd, so again, I can I'll explain that further when we get in it. Just to quickly go into this, Gallon, if you use a Cosmic Seed on him, making him a Herald, because of that 60% resistance to bleed and poison, for every victory you get, he gets the Herald gains 7% resistance to all damage and debuffs. So in theory, around 5 victories allows you to go basically bleed and poison immune, which is really, really nice. I'm going to be showcasing this as I said, a 6-star rank 3 Knull with all his synergies in there. They don't do too much. The Silver Surfer one just increases his attack rating while they're corrupted. The Venom Pool synergy just allows him to go unblockable. And then the Symbiote Supreme and the Void synergy are 2 that aren't major. He doesn't have a very good, strong synergy team. That's why I've just thought I'll go ahead and use all of them. So for this first section, I'll be showcasing I believe the longer form, sort of the way to play him, that if you go into Abyss or questing, this is the best way to use him. So as I said, every medium attack builds up those living abyss. As you can see, a medium attack through a block also gives you a 75% chance to get a living abyss, so hitting into the block can be really effective, and the heavy attack can do around 2 or 3 living abyss. So the way I try and play as much as possible is medium, light, medium, allows you to put as many living abyss on him. However, I am stuck into the habit of 5-hit comboing, starting with medium, ending with medium. So throughout this video, I'll try my best to go to the medium, light, medium. This builds up as much living abyss as possible, and then when you throw, you can throw either your SP1 or your SP3. So I like to get up to around 30 living abyss before I throw my SP3. This, as you can see, this doesn't take too much time. It's actually around 40 hits, which in longer content, isn't major. In Battlegrounds, obviously, you want to be going for the shorter method, which will be up next. But for this one, get to around 30, 40, and then throw your SP3. This puts on a corruption of 25 seconds, whereas in the latter video, a corruption of 10 seconds comes from your SP1. So you want to be chucking that SP3. This allows for a really long corruption, which means you can do the most damage. Like, as you can see here, these are like 5k hits, 6k hits, which are massive, and can really shred opponents. And then obviously in the background, you'll see that when you end with a medium attack, you do degeneration to the opponent, but also you'll do a regeneration to yourself of around, I believe, 15% of the sort of the damage that you're doing. As I said, what I like to do is to throw that SP3, get into a long corrupted, and then medium, light, finish with a light, ending 5-hit combo. This means you don't take any armor breaks off, because if you do end in a medium, then you take armor breaks off, because those armor breaks are converted into degenerations. And then throw your SP2. That builds up 10 more armor breaks, which is really, really nice. And then to finish it, I believe I'll show here that, as you can see, currently my health is 97%, but I'll do some degenerations by ending with a medium, and it will take my health, as you can see, back up to 100. So that's how you can also passively regenerate Knull, which is, of course, in long content, really, really nice. However, it does use armor breaks, so as I said, build up your Living Abyss with your SP3, chuck your SP3 because it's a 25-second corruption, go to your SP2, throw that for more armor breaks, and then you can either 5-hit combos ending in mediums to do some regeneration to yourself or degeneration, or end in lights to keep those armor breaks up and sort of do more damage. So this is the shorter one. So as you can see, fight doesn't start off ideal. However, if this is good for battlegrounds, what you want to do is build up as much Living Abyss as possible. And then when throwing your SP1, you'll be able to, which I should do right about now, is that will put a corruption on. But this corruption is only 10 seconds long. So obviously the SP3 corruption is almost 150 seconds longer, or 150% better and longer. So this is for more short content. However, the while the opponent suffers with corruption, they also have reverse inverted controls, as you can see there. So this also converts your Living Abyss to armor breaks. However, 10 seconds isn't that long, so you want to get your SP2, try and chuck that. But this is really about taking opponent's health down quite quickly. Battlegrounds, for example, you want to be doing this SP1 and then SP2, or just using medium 5-hit combo ending attacks, and then that degenerates and regenerates you, obviously for the highest score in Battlegrounds. So this is, again, really effective. So obviously, as you can see, he's got a passive regen. He's got inverted controls, which makes him a really hard defender to fight against in Battlegrounds from his SP1 or his SP3. His SP2 is quite difficult to dex if you're not used to it. So that also makes him a good defender. And then as an attacker, he really does a lot of damage while this corruption is active. But obviously, this is the shorter rotation. And then he has the longer one where you throw your SP3 with a 25-second corruption rather than 10 seconds. As I said, he's an amazing attacker with this, both either corruption, whichever way you want to play it, big health pools or small. But on defense, he's also really good with that resistance to bleed and poison, and then degeneration. As well as this, he puts the opponent in inverted controls, as I said, so that's hard to face. So all in all, this is why I believe he is a top 5 champ. The more I use him in long form content and throw this SP3 and then do a lot of damage, you know, and have that regeneration, the better I think he is. So SIG ability, is it worth it? Absolutely. If you can get him to SIG 200, every, I believe, 13 levels, he gains a increased, or you start with 15 Living Abyss at SIG 200, and you start with 1 Living Abyss every 13 levels. That's what I was trying to say. So his SIG ability is really useful to help you ramp him up quicker. He is a ramp up champ, obviously, but say if you can start with 15, then that's perfect. Try and get him to SIG 200. This builds him up really nicely and allows him to, if you're throwing that SP1 and going for that shorter one, the fight is then even quicker in Battlegrounds. And if you're going for the longer one, 40 hits will take you, instead of 30 armor breaks, it will do 45, which, you know, massively puts up his damage. That's all for the Knull sort of utility rotation, all areas like that. Again, he can be auto block and evade counter. He is a counter to damaging debuffs. He does really well in short fights and long fights, and he's a really good Battlegrounds defender. If you've got any more questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. If you have, leave it a like. Again, leave a comment telling me you enjoyed it, and I'll try and put up more for champions that I've played a lot with and have a lot more knowledge about or idea of how to play. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.